Hello, and welcome to my first cruise vlog. This is going to be a compilation of videos that I took over the course of 7 days on my wife and I's cruise to the Mexican Pacific coast. We left out of LA, and this first clip is going to be us walking onto the ship. We are getting on the cruise. We just scanned our key card and we are walking on whatever this thing is called. Do you know what this thing is called, babe? Next to bridge, sky bridge, something like that. Cruise day is officially begun. Next we have a couple clips of wildlife, us popping some champagne and drinking it to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, and then I go into a normal vlog about the boarding process and the day before. Hope you all enjoy. Alright. So we decided, since this is kind of our 1-year anniversary trip, we would have the same type of wine that we had on our wedding day. We absolutely love this, and we love the Pour Vineyard. If you are ever in Red Bud, Illinois, go to it. It's amazing. So,
yay!
Go.
Oh,
That's why I did it out here. Alrighty.
we'll need to clean that up so we don't.
Here's to 1 year.
Yay! Oh.
And we are in our stateroom finally. Haven't got our luggage yet, but it's getting close. Say hi, babe.
Hey.
So, we had a bit of a crazy time getting in here, or getting to LA, because we booked with Delta for a layover flight through Detroit. Well, that layover was only going to be 45 minutes, and our flight was delayed by an hour from St. Louis, so we had to change that. And so we changed it to a flight from St. Louis to Salt Lake City, and then Salt Lake City to LA. And then about 2 hours later, that flight was also delayed. And so I spent a good hour and a half online chatting with someone, trying to find a flight other than those that could get us there. And they did have us on one that was going through Salt Lake, but much, much later. Like, we wouldn't get into LA until almost midnight or later than that. So instead, I asked them if we could just get our money back and a refund. They said yes, and we booked with Southwest, which is who we're going to go with every single time now, because we've never had any issues. So we got to LA, and we got our in and out. I felt really bad for the Uber driver, because I used the Uber feature where you can go somewhere and then go back, like have 2 stops. And I guess the Uber driver didn't realize that, and it took over 20 minutes to get my food at In-N-Out, because they completely forgot me. I was order 46, and they were on 62 before they actually got to my order for some reason. But we eventually got it. I tipped the guy really well. Hopefully he doesn't leave me, or like put me as a 1-star on Uber or anything like that. But we got our In-N-Out. It was amazing. I was cranky, but after I ate In-N-Out, I was happy and I fell asleep. And then yesterday we went to Disneyland, which was one of the coolest parks I've ever been at. I wouldn't say it's better than Holiday World or Dollywood, but it was definitely more of an experience. And compared to Universal, it blows Universal out of the water, both the parks. Because we only did one of the 2 Disneyland parks. We did California Adventure, and we had plenty of time to do every single thing that we wanted, and we didn't feel like we missed out on anything, or we had to like stay as late as possible just to get our money's worth. Because we got there probably around like 9:30, got to the shuttle and then got to the park probably around 10, and we stayed until about 4:30, and we did the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. We got Pim's Test Kitchen. We got to see a bunch of like little shows that they have everywhere. We did the Incredicoaster. Did we do anything before the Incredicoaster?
Yeah, we did Soarin'.
Soarin', right. We did Soarin'. We did the giant wheel, which was terrifying. I did not expect that. We did the Little Mermaid ride. We did the Web Slinger Spider-Man adventure.
And the Cars ride.
Oh, yeah, and the Radiator Springs Cars ride that used to be Fast Track. And every single one of them was excellent. I think the longest we had to wait in line was 35 minutes for the Guardians of the Galaxy one. Also, pro tip, if you ever go to Disneyland and you don't care about sitting next to the person you're with and you just want to ride the rides, go to the single riders line. It is as fast as the Fast Pass, and it's free. And you get to stand with the person that you're with the entire time you're waiting in line and talk to them. So that's really the only reason I like having someone with me whenever I'm at a park, to alleviate boredom and standing in line. And then you just have to wait like a couple minutes extra for the person you were with to get done once you go through the ride. So pro tip, if you ever go to Disneyland, use the single riders lane because it's essentially a fast pass for free. You just don't get to ride with the person you're with, which I don't care, and I don't think most people do. So Guardians of the Galaxy was the best ride we did. That was the one that used to be Tower of Terror, and I went on Tower of Terror a long time ago and loved it. And this was the exact same ride as Tower of Terror, just completely different story. Like, you don't have the ghosts, you don't have the holograms, it's all just screens and stuff and Guardians of the Galaxy characters, which was great. And then probably my second favorite one we did was honestly Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
Like, the Incredicoaster was awesome.
And we got to be in the front.
Yeah.
It was great.
Because they assign where you go, we just got lucky enough to be in the front, and I'm never in the front of roller coasters, so that was really cool. And then probably third favorite was the Radiator Springs one, because it was just a lot, it was a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for?
It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute, and it also was a lot more intense than you'd expect right at the end, because you race against another car, and it was really, really fun. The Web Slingers was cool.
The Web Slingers was cool, but because it was such a new ride, you'd think that the 3D would be better, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was little. It was hard to see what was going on because you're supposed. It's kind of like the Scooby-Doo ride where you're trying to get targets and stuff, but it was just too fast, and you didn't know where your exact color was going to like get the things that you're supposed to get points for. It was a little too fast. I think if they slowed it down, it would have been better, and also if the 3D was better, it would have been better.
Yeah, I think they have a little bit to work on with that one, but it was still fun. It just wasn't quite what we expected, but we only had to wait for 20 minutes because we did the single rider for that one too, and I think they said the normal line was like 90.
It was 90 minutes,
yeah.
And we got in like 25.
Yeah, so use the single rider's pass, or the single rider lane. It is
and
so
don't pay for Fast Pass. You don't need it.
No, you do not.
Unless you have a family, unless you have kids, but if you're just a couple, then don't pay for the Fast Pass.
Yeah, it's so much better just to do single rider and just ride by yourself and then just wait for whoever you're with. You will save money, it is just as fast, and you get to ride more rides. So we also got, at Pim's Test Kitchen, we had the ever-expanding French toast, which it looked hilarious. It had this tiny, tiny little egg on top and 2 pieces of bacon, and then this giant log of French toast.
And a tiny fork.
Yeah, and a tiny fork, which I used, and Tori used the big one just because I wanted it to be funny. And then we also got bacon mac and cheese cone from the Cone motel place at Radiator Springs.
Cone.
The Cozy Cone at Radiator Springs. And like, they have 5 different stations that all serve different things out of cones, whether it's ice cream or savory stuff, or I think one of them had like chili in a cone or something. But we got the bacon mac and cheese. It was awesome. We also got to see the Spider-Man show they have, which was really cool. We got to see an animatronic fly through the air, and he does like all the parkour and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we also got to see a Black Widow and Black Panther.
Yeah.
T'Challa. Like fight scene, and it was cheesy, but it was really cool. It also had like voice acting and sound effects, and then we also got to see like a ceremony of Wakandan warriors, and that one was really cool as well. I got a video of that too. So overall, yesterday was great, and then we went to King's Fish House and had an amazing.
It was so good.
Oh god, the food was great. I had shrimp and scallops with Brussels sprouts and garlic mashed potatoes, and you had I
had a seafood Cobb salad, and it was huge. It was like this big.
And it had like scallops and shrimp and all that.
Oysters.
Oysters. Oh yeah, and then we got a half dozen of oysters, which were excellent.
And our drinks were really great.
Yes, they were. I had something called the Herbalist, and you had the Swizzle?
The Swizzler, which had absinthe in it.
And that got her messed up. So,
and the sourdough bread that came with it was delicious.
Oh, that was so good. It was like fresh and tangy. You could tell it was baked that day, probably that hour. Like, it was so fresh. It smelled amazing. So yeah, I had a great time yesterday, and then today had no issue getting onto the ship. I think we got dropped off around 10:30, and we're on the ship by like 11:05.
Yeah, we get here, and they're actually letting everybody on the ship as soon as we got here, so we didn't have to do any waiting. We got maybe in and out in like 20 minutes.
Oh, less than that.
Less than that, yeah.
It was awesome. Then we got our food, and I'm going to be doing reviews of all the food that I have, at least at the buffet. I don't know about the specialty restaurants, but yeah. So we're just kind of chilling, relaxing. Maybe
we're probably going to take a nap.
Yes, because we've been walking around a lot. But yeah, day 1 of the cruise already started.
Yay.
So that was a recap of our first 2 days of vacation, getting to LA and getting onto the ship. Hope you enjoyed it, and this vlog is going to end with a TikTok sound that was very popular at the time of our getting on the ship that has since faded away. So this will be a relic of the past. What did I just get? Why, a Negroni, spagliato, with Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.